Hey everybody, Funky McClunky here. I want to talk about the Acolyte, only kind of briefly. Not doing a whole big review of the show. I'm just going to talk about a few things I like, a few things I don't like, and answer a couple of questions that I've gotten about Acolyte Star Wars figures. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to call everyone's attention to a scene from Superman 4, A Quest for Peace in the 80s. Superman goes around the Earth, gathers up all the nuclear weapons in a big net, and he flings it into the sun, thus ridding the Earth of an existential threat. Well, I want to do something similar to that. I would love to round up all the culture war ding-dongs who want to make every single thing in this existence about politics or about socio-political debates, about wokeness. I can't. I want to round up all of those people. That's politicians, it's media people, it's commenters on the internet, anybody who uses the word woke unironically. I want to round them up, stick them in a net, fling them into the sun, because I'm tired of it. So I'm going to talk about the Acolyte like we should be talking about TV and movies, about plots, about characters, about special effects, the writing, things like that. That's what I want to talk about. The only thing I'll say about all that other stuff is, hey, I'm a white guy, white male here. Not a lot of white males in the Acolyte. I don't care. I don't care. Why don't I care? Because I'm focused on the show. I'm just like with Andor, I was focused on the show. Just like with Kenobi, I was focused on the show. That's how I'm going to treat the Acolyte, okay? So one thing to get out of the way is people have been asking me if I'm going to make action figures of the Acolyte characters. And the answer is probably not. At least not right now. Not because I don't like the show. We'll get to that in a second. But mainly because I'm just not really super inspired to make more Star Wars figures from the new stuff right now. I'm going to make some characters from the old stuff, some more of those. I've got a to-do list that's still decently long, but I want to move on and do some other stuff. Everybody seems to like my Mork and Mindy and Mactonite and Zardoz figures, so I want to do more weird stuff like that. So just getting that question out of the way. Okay, so on to the Acolyte. Spoiler alert, by the way, I'm going to be talking about the first two episodes, which are the only two that are out right now. And again, not wading into the culture war garbage that is all over the internet right now. I don't want anything to do with all of that. Just talking about the show. So I watched those first two episodes, and I gotta say, I'm gonna stick with it mainly because shows sometimes take a little while to get going, and we as a culture have gotten super used to, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's YouTube, whatever. We've gotten super used to instant gratification, and if something doesn't pay off immediately, then we're like, this is the worst thing ever. It's not going anywhere. Blah 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 blah. So if you watch those first two episodes of The Acolyte and you just don't like it, hey, don't watch it. Who cares? But I'm going to see it through, mainly because when shows like think about WandaVision. When that show started out, people were like, oh, this is weird. What even is this? This is maybe kind of stupid. And then it took a while to evolve, and you see, oh, this is what the show is going to be. And then you get to the end, and it really pays off in a gratifying way. At least I thought so. So I'm going to have some patience with this. It's Star Wars. I'm going to watch it. And if anybody out there thinks that that this show or any of the other Disney shows are the only Star Wars properties that have little bits of good and bits of bad mixed with a lot of mediocrity, I got to tell you, I don't think you're having an honest conversation with yourself about Star Wars in general. So if you look back at all the films and TV shows, there's some really terrible crap mixed in with some amazing Star Wars moments, and then there's just a lot of general, enjoyable stuff, okay? You take the good with the bad. That goes all the way back to the original trilogy, if you're being honest. You can have your gripes about modern Disney stuff all you want, and I'm going to be there with you on a lot of it, but The Acolyte is full, so far in these two episodes, of good Star Wars moments mixed in with poor choices and questionable dialogue, okay? So it's just like anything else. All right. Kind of feels like Star Trek a little bit, doesn't it? I've never been a huge Star Trek fan. I'm not a hater, but it's just not my thing. Some of the aliens, some of the scenery just feels a little Star Trek-y to me. I'm going to be interested to see how that progresses. Because honestly, I'm looking at a cheat sheet, by the way. I had to write some of this stuff down when I was watching it. Some of the aliens are a little cheesy, right? I don't know if it's the design or the execution that just looks a little Star Trek-y, a little Doctor Who maybe. I don't know. They're just kind of cheesy. I'm going to see how that continues. Surprisingly, some questionable acting, kind of across the board. Like, some of it's really good, some of it's just kind of like, ugh. I don't know. I expected better. Again, spoiler alert, Carrie-Anne Moss, I love her. Action star resume is obviously top notch. I want to see more of her, and for her to go out so quickly after being featured prominently in the marketing materials is a little disappointing. I'm hoping she comes back in some way later, so fingers crossed on that one. There's some sloppy writing. Jedi making stupid decisions, right? These guys are supposed to be at the height of their power, and kind of making some stupid decisions and maybe sometimes played for laughs. I don't know. It just seems a little weird. So here's hoping that gets better. On to the good stuff. Jedi outfits. Super cool to see them in these sleek warrior monk, samurai, Kurosawa samurai film inspired outfits. I like seeing that. The old idea that all of the Jedi, thanks to the opening scenes of The Phantom Menace, that all of the Jedi are going to be dressed like Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Tatooine hermit, that decision was always a little questionable, and not sure that was the best choice. So it's nice to see them in like real warrior monk outfits. It is cool seeing all the martial arts. I want to see more of it. Hand-to-hand combat, no lightsabers. It's kind of nice to see. It reminds me of what's-his-face in Rogue One, kicking ass without a lightsaber. I like that. I want to see more of that. Seeing some of the old Republic era, prequel era locations and spaceships and that kind of thing is cool too. It's good to see Coruscant again, back in its heyday. It'll be interesting to see what old Jedi pop up. Is Yoda going to pop up? Showrunner says no, but it seems like that would be something that they made such a big deal over the years about how old that dude is. Seems kind of like a waste to not have him at least show up for a second in the friggin' Jedi Temple where the show theoretically is based. Anyway, that's all. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Now it's only 2 episodes in, but I'm gonna keep watching it. All the complaints that I see on the internet, some of them are valid, some of them are just garbage. Guys, just shut up and watch the show, or shut up and don't watch the show. I don't care, you know. Anyway, this is supposed to be fun. Have fun with Star Wars. All right. Until next time, stay funky.